Hi Aquarius. So let's do a 4-layered spread to capture as much of the energy around you as we can. I have 2 tarot decks and 2 oracle decks that we'll use to do this. So we're starting with the Hermit, the Hierophant, Ace of Cups, 2 of Wands, the Magician, 6 of Swords, 10 of Cups, the High Priestess, 8 of Cups, 6 of Cups. Under this deck is the 8 of Swords. So then we will take 6 of these Prism Oracle cards for our second layer. So we have Protection, Anger, Illumination, Fear, Space, Isolation. Under this deck is Sadness. Then we will get 6 of these tarot cards. So the 4 of Cups, we'll take that. This will make our third layer, okay? 2 of Pentacles, we'll take that. Strength, 4 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles, Judgment. Underneath this deck is the Knight of Cups. And then we'll take 2 of these Aquarius and we're going to really get into this for you. So we have the Man, the Clover, and under this deck is the Coffin. So Aquarius, this is going to be a love reading. I can already tell. So let's prepare for that. So there are romantic feelings that exist between you and your person. And I believe they are mutual feelings because we're seeing the Knight of Cups at the bottom of the deck. But there's been some kind of an ending between you. So whether it's an energetic ending or an actual physical ending, but there's fear involved that may have caused the ending, because I see the 8 of Swords and I see fear on your person's side. So your own person's fear of something could have caused an ending to this. But I can see that there is much sadness, probably on both of your parts, probably huge disappointments in your overall energy at the way things turned out or the way things have gone. So do you see how many dark cards we pulled for these Prism Oracles? There's 3 black cards. These are all very lower chakra energies, but we'll see if that matters. But there is a theme coming through with this color black. So there could be more grounding that needs to happen. Your person may need to get out of their head and more into a grounded position. But anyway, Aquarius, if this sounds like you and your person, let's get into this. So we have the High Priestess, Space, 8 of Pentacles, and Clover. So I think that there's still, oh, I just saw 333 as I said that. There is definitely a strong bond that exists between the two of you. I think that this relationship has caused you both to journey inward. I think you're both doing a lot of inner work on yourselves right now, on your own sides, so to speak. So if you are isolated from each other, you are doing work on your side, they are doing work on their side. The 8 of Pentacles can often be about self-mastery. But this Clover card is saying that there still is this element that there's a strong pull. There's a strong, maybe even telepathic connection, or you both just know that you're supposed to be in each other's lives, regardless of the fear or the disappointment or whatever has happened to cause this ending with the Coffin at the bottom. I do think that it has caused you both to become very introspective with this High Priestess. And I think it's allowed you both to grow as individuals. In your person's feelings, we have the 6 of Swords and fear. So I think your person just runs away. The 6 of Swords is a card of escape. And then, of course, we see fear. So I don't think it feels like your person is like too close to the situation. It feels like they need to take a step back and to look at it from a different perspective. That could be why there's a separation between the two of you. You may have thought that giving this person space would give them the time to miss you or to appreciate you or to remember what you brought to the situation, because it feels like with the Six of Swords and fear, it feels like they're just reacting to a situation, but they're too enmeshed in it. So I think stepping back would help them to see the bigger picture before they make any major decisions. But it feels like they've already made a major decision because they reacted and probably ran, because the Six of Swords and fear certainly looks like someone running from their fears. And we see the Eight of Swords here at the bottom of the deck, which is also confirming that your person has very limited beliefs when it comes to what they can bring to the situation or what they think they can give you. Their actions are the Ten of Cups and Four of Pentacles. They don't plan on giving you this happiness. They don't plan on giving you that emotional fulfillment. And again, I think it's because they feel like they can't, or they wouldn't know how. So there is a very, it's almost a selfish energy coming through here, where your person wants to have the Ten of Cups with you, but they want you to give it to them, not them to give it to you. So hopefully that makes sense. But this does feel a bit codependent. It feels like your person wants you to provide them, but not having to face their fears. Or maybe even there's an element of control here too, I'm getting. Because the Four of Pentacles can be a very controlling energy where you're only giving a little bit so that you can receive things from someone. It keeps you in control if you're in this Four of Pentacles environment. So I don't usually like to see this particular combination of Ten of Cups and Four of Pentacles together, because it feels like your person has a lot of love that they could give you and has a lot of love for you, but they're not giving it to you. They're withholding it. And it could be for selfish reasons. It could be for fear. It could be because they're scared, or it could be for control reasons. And maybe we'll see more as we go. But I do feel like your person is in like self-preservation right now, that they don't want to put themselves out there. So that may be why it came to an end. So in your feelings, you have the Six of Cups and isolation. So I think you understand the history you have with this person, the soul connection you have with this person. But I think you also know that you deserve to be seen, that just because you have a soul connection with this person and you feel drawn to them doesn't mean that you can't have your needs met, or that if your needs aren't being met, that you have to keep them in your life. You don't. And so I think that's why we have this isolation card. We have a lot of cards of individuality. We have this isolation. We have protection. We started with the Hermit, which we're going to get to. We have the High Priestess. So all of these cards that feel like you were meant to teach each other something, but not necessarily stay in each other's energy if it's not the best thing for you. And I think that's how you're feeling. That you're feeling like, yeah, this could have been a soul connection. It's why I'm so disappointed with sadness, but I'm not having my needs met. So why am I still here? And you might not be here because we have the Coffin. So then in your actions, we have the Eight of Cups and Judgment. Yeah, you became very aware that you have to let this go. And you are letting this go. I think you may have stayed in this relationship because of this dreamy energy, because of the High Priestess and the Clover and the Six of Cups. You may have had more of a fantasy of this person, or imagined what things would be like with this person as opposed to what things actually are like with this person. And I think you're waking up to that. I think you're hearing your soul say to you, come on, it's time to go with this Eight of Cups. It's time to really detach from this and maybe go find our true person or our true purpose. The Eight of Cups is about leaving something, but it's also about not knowing what you're going towards. You just know you can't stay here. And I think that's this high level decision that you're making with the Judgment card, is that you're saying, yeah, okay, fine. I know this was supposed to be a soulmate. I know I was supposed to untie some karmic spaghetti with this person, and I did that, but my person hasn't. So, and now my needs aren't being met. So it's time for me probably to just move on. So the Hierophant and the Four of Cups are telling me that your person sees you as very balanced, very wise, very smart. They see you as having an unblocked heart chakra. They don't see you as having the same fears that they have. They see you as free and not worried about wearing a mask, and you're putting your true authentic self out there. You're healed, you're wise, you don't care. And I think that's why you're able to detach. That's why the coffin is here, isolation is here, because you said that's enough. I'm not going to do this if my needs are not being met. And they see you that way. They see you as being pretty free and pretty emotionally balanced. So then with the Two of Wands and Strength, you see them as kind of being a bit wishy-washy, that they go back and forth. They could be all over the place. They could change their mind a lot. They could say one thing and do another thing. The Strength card can often be about ego. So it feels like you feel like your person could overcome their fears, but it feels like you feel that they're just refusing to do it, that they're just being confusing. They're not really serious about this. They're not really trying to grow or evolve or give you what you need in this situation. They're just kind of being back and forth with you, maybe in and out, or future faking, or these types of things is how you see them. And again, it gives this sense of like, maybe they gave you this impression in the first place that they were one way, but then they ended up being a different way. And now you're kind of realizing this about them. I feel like you're having more epiphanies than ever about them, and you're understanding and awakening with judgment to who this person truly is and why they came into your life, and the need they needed to come into your life so that you could grow and evolve, but you don't need them to stay in your life if they're going to be kind of wishy-washy and all over the place. So in their intentions, they have the Hermit and protection. Again, it's the same as this Four of Pentacles. They have no intention of giving you what you need because they are in self-preservation mode. This Hermit card is giving a strong sense of them protecting their energy, and protection speaks for itself. They are protecting themselves. They have every intention of protecting themselves and not giving you what you need. It's not necessarily because they don't want to give you what you need or they don't think you deserve it. It's because they're watching out for themselves more than they are for you. And that's really all you need to know. You don't need to be in a relationship where someone is putting only their own needs first and never yours. So in your intentions, you have the Magician and Illumination. So you're going to manifest whatever you need because you've done the work. We said this about you already. You're very wise. You're seeing things for how they are. You have the Judgment card. You're waking up. Everything is getting illuminated. We said you're having epiphanies and understandings and awakenings about this person. And I think the more you do that, the more you're really going to be able to manifest in whatever it is that you think that you need. And I think with this Eight of Cups here, this is you really just having an emotional purge. You're just emotionally releasing this person. And it almost feels like it's cathartic and purifying in a sense that you're letting this go so that you can start new beginnings. The Magician is number one. And I think that you understand now why this came into your life because it really awakened you. But now I really feel like it's time to move on. And I think you feel that too. So then we have Ace of Cups, Anger, Two of Pentacles, and the Man card. So I feel like these are the things that keep the two of you together. There's constant drama. There's constant juggling. There could be even competition involved because we have another person here. And I think that is starting to dawn on you, that this idea of they look out for themselves, I look out for myself, but we're not looking out for each other. And you may have been at one point, but I feel you pulling away from that. With the Ace of Cups, I can see you just really working on your own healing. If there was codependency in this situation, you're working on healing that and fixing this and really looking at this very closely, that you maybe perhaps with anger and the Two of Pentacles, you two would fight and then break up and maybe see other people, but then get back together again. It just feels very dramatic. And there may have been an addiction to the drama, but you're done. I see you detaching. You have Judgment with the Eight of Cups. You have isolation. You have illumination. And you see this person and this situation for what it truly is. And I really feel you moving on from this. especially because the cards are really confirming that your person doesn't intend on giving you what you need. They don't. And not because they don't think you need it or because you deserve it. It's because they're too busy protecting themselves. So there you go, Aquarius. That is your love reading. Will you please let me know how this was resonant? Consider subscribing to the channel if you like my vibe, and we will do this again sometime. Thanks, everybody. Bye.